wish you much, much success. Coming up, Quan O'Neal and Frank McGhee on preventing youth violence. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Quan O'Neal, a student at Detroit's Osborne Evergreen Academy, and Frank McGhee, the project director at the Detroit Neighborhood Service Organization, have waited patiently to share their story of how their youth-directed leadership carried them to the White House this year.
This is part of a national initiative, the Violence Prevention Forum that the Obama administration enacted back in 2010, was designed to address the issue of youth violence and gang violence throughout the country, involving 6 cities. Detroit is one of those cities. Quan O'Neal and myself were heavily involved in a campaign to address the challenges of violence in the Osborne community, and that's the community with the zip code of 48205. What's wonderful about this is that the youth organized with the support and leadership of Quan O'Neal, several activities and events that brought their peers together in unison to deal with this issue of violence, and we're very proud of that. And because of that, we were honored as champions of change by the White House.
How did you get involved in this program, and what has this program done for you?
Well, I got involved in the program in the 9th grade year. My mom came to me and actually she told me about YIP, and I was thinking, you think you cool, so you're like, nah, I really don't want to join it. She told me about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me see. I go to it, and I went to the meetings, kept going to them, and I noticed that Mr. McGhee actually was there for us. He actually wanted us to actually become sons, so he came to school like every single day. So as I seen him doing that, I just said, okay, let me see what it's about, and I went to the
It kind of wore you down, huh?
Yes. Went to one of the meetings on Saturdays, and ever since then, I've been on board.
What was it like being at the White House?
That was a great experience. It was like a dream because I never thought that I'd be in the White House. That was never in my intentions of going to the White House, but being honored in that type of way was just awesome.
Very inspirational.
Yes.
Very inspirational. What are some of the specific things that you've done and you've learned in this youth program?
Well, some of the specific things that I have done was actually created a male summit. We had created a male summit back May 7th last year.
A male summit?
Yes. And it's something that we give out lectures about entrepreneurship, health issues, education, and also mentoring. We talked about that, and it was a lot of males that came, and that was inspirational also, because that was my first big event, and I was nervous, but I enjoyed myself there.
That sounds good. Has this program helped you to decide what it is you perhaps want to become as a profession down the line?
A little bit. I'll be thinking about maybe joining the Department of Justice, or, a little bit.
You told me you like science and math a lot.
Yes, I do.
So you're thinking about medicine as well, possibly?
Yes.
Would you like to be a doctor?
Yes, a doctor. A DMC, a doctor at DMC, yes I would.
At the DMC? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Chuck, this is the essence of why the neighborhood service organization is at the forefront of making sure that our consumers reach their full potential. A lot of our young men, in particular, lose hope because of the challenges that they experience over their short lifetime. Many believe that they may not make it past 21. Quan is a visionary. He sees beyond his own time, and that's what we have to do here for our region, for our state. We have to make sure that we support Quan and others like him in helping them to achieve their dreams.
All right, I'm going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Quan, I want you to talk to me and to the audience out there about some of the violence that you have seen and why it's so important to you to fight against that violence.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back with Frank McGhee and Quan O'Neal. We hope you stay with us. You recently had a male empowerment breakfast.
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about that and what experience came out of that.
Well, the strategy behind that was to make sure that we engage our young males who are really at risk. These are individuals who would be considered to be disconnected from the mainstream. They're not interested in school. They're not interested in working with anyone other than with their own peer group. And that's the issue of trust. Well, we wanted to go against the grain and reach out to that group and embrace them and let them know that they are a part of the community and we need their support to deal with this issue of violence. And so Quan and others like him came together and put together a male empowerment breakfast. We had male role models from all professions, faith-based, law, teaching. They all came out and broke bread and had a conversation about the future. That these young men, the idea that these young men sat down and talked to adult role models who just wanted to spend their time, made an impact with these young people. Now they're part of our program. They're involved in our activities, as is Quan.
So Quan, why were you and perhaps some of your peers concerned that you might not be able to trust these individuals?
Because most of the people that they grew up around, most of the males particularly, that they grew up around was like people that kind of discouraged them to do things that they wanted to do. Like they'd tell them, no, you can't be that doctor. You ain't gonna be no lawyer. You know, and these guys, when we went to the empowerment breakfast, most of the guys I know came and was like, man, you know, I don't know how this gonna turn out. But you know, you see doctors and lawyers and teachers coming there and telling them that you is gonna be that doctor, you is gonna be a lawyer. You know, it built trust within us and hope.
You know, you've seen a lot of violence?
Yes, I actually have. But the mom I got, she kind of keep me away from violence. But yes, I have seen violence, and I mostly seen violence at school. You know, I've seen sexual violence. I've seen gang violence, a lot of gang violence. I've even seen drug violence, so I've seen a lot of violence.
His mother is a huge support in his life, and it allows him to be a resilient factor to go against that grain. We honor her every day. But he needs even support from more young men in the community, he and others like him. And that's why it's so important that we have to take the time to mentor these young men so they can reach their full potential.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the most important thing that you've gotten out of this program, Quan?
The most important thing I have got out of this program is leadership skills. I learned how to be a leader, and I learned how to be a mentor to my little brother, to my little sister, to my peers.
That's the essence of leadership. And he's going to pass it down to his younger brothers. And those are the ones who are going to follow him. That's beautiful.
What is it that you, Frank McGhee, need from the Neighborhood Services Organization and from others to make sure that this valuable program continues to exist?
Well, our agency is right on board. Neighborhood Service Organization has been, as I said, at the forefront of making sure that their voice is heard. Our youth must be heard in these issues. They're at the table, they're working, they're breaking bread with leaders throughout this city. But in terms of our region, we need to step up and embrace the lives of our young people in general, and make sure that they get all the support they need to achieve their goals. In our program, we have a lot of youth who come from different backgrounds. We can use a lot of adult role models who can volunteer and step in to support these young people. We need that. We have youth from all walks of life, very diverse group. And many of these young people drive as far away as Macomb Township, if you will.
Really?
Yes, just to sit in and participate in the program. And so if there's interest in being a volunteer, we ask them to go to our website at nso-mi.org, and there they can get the information they need.
Quan, you get the final question. If you could send a message to your peers or to others that are watching this program, what would it be?
That you could become anything you want to be, as long as you got your mind set on doing that. And also, you know, I've been to the White House, I say that you could go to the White House also. I say that my friends, Marcel, that's one, Eileen, you guys can go to the White House. Anybody out there can go to the White House if you put your mind to it, and you know, and just have the hope and have the heart to do it, and also, you know, just keep that drive in you if you do have it.
Yeah. Frank McGhee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for putting together a program like this and for making it one that reaches out to a lot of individuals and for setting a good example for Daquan and others. And Daquan, thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck to you. I know we're going to hear great things about you as you head into the future, and we hope to get you back at some point. Give us some periodic updates on where you are and where the program is at as well. All right? So that's it for this Sunday. Thanks to my guests. We'll be preempted next week for a Dream Cruise special. We'll see you back here on August the 26th. Have a great week.